contributes to the Summit of the Future, and how it relates to good governance and promoting peace in the continent.
Conflict resolution, tackling security challenges, and committing to lasting peace across the continent are prerequisites for accelerating efforts to achieve the SDGs and the moonshoots of the second 10-year implementation plan of Agenda 2063.
Mr. President, as the current president of the APRM Forum, Algeria continues to work diligently to strengthen the mechanism achievement and support Africa's progress towards transparent and democratic governance. This includes combating corruption, terrorism, and violent extremism. Algeria is committed to fostering dialogue, cooperation, and coordination among all stakeholders to develop African solutions for African challenges. This solution will be grounded in the African reality and aim for developed and prosperous Africa. Algeria also prioritizes citizen participation, strengthening democratic institutions, promoting responsible and sustainable investment, advancing women's rights and participation.
With only 36% of citizens having access to the internet. Climate change and urbanization, taking into consideration the fact that Africa is the fastest urbanizing continent in the world, and that by 2030 the human population is to increase by an additional 350 million people.
In Sierra Leone, we have recognized this necessity of an efficient, transparent, inclusive, and accountable public service system to drive development and meet the aspirations of our people. The government of Sierra Leone is currently implementing its national medium-term development plan 2024-2030, but we capped it so that it will fit with the SDGs.
I'm sure that everybody agrees that as we speak, good governance must be one of the most eroded expressions in the development vocabulary.
And strategy in Sierra Leone, and we are delighted to, and I think we are delighted to be part of this process. I think last year Sierra Leone was one of the selected case studies in the African Governance Report on the unconstitutional change of government.
More money is spent today, but yet you have more people who are food insecure, who are poor, who are, everything is getting bigger and bigger. And this is not something that we need to move down that road. The handout syndrome, the cap in hand syndrome has to end, and we have to build capacity within Africa for Africa to do it themselves. That's the bottom line.
On the national level, back in Egypt, we have our Egypt's Vision 2030, which is aligned with Africa's Agenda 2063. For us, it's very important in shaping our nation's trajectory towards sustainable development.
These are crucial for not only advancing our national agenda, but also for ensuring that we are all well prepared to tackle global challenges.
I think we come to the end of our official session, but I would like to once again thank all of you for your insightful inputs, whether the speakers, but I'm sure also that some of our participants may have some burning questions or comments.
Well, we are here as Namibia to attend the high-level political forum on sustainable development. Basically, understand the synergy between DNRs and our review reports, and how do we strengthen governance in the context of sustainable development goals.
This is bringing African countries together to share knowledge and see how we can make progress for our people. And that is the essence of what we want to this meeting. And of course, what are the challenges that faces Africa? We know the challenges. How can we mitigate the challenges? How can we overcome the challenges? How can we help our people and to develop the youth, to empower the women, and to make our country a better place for people.
I do think that the event provides an opportunity for African continents, for African countries to come together and share best practices on how to accelerate the sustainable development goals on the continent, but also in alignment with the African Union's agenda of 2063. For me as a young person from South Africa, hearing the call of action of many members and representatives of the different countries gives me kind of hope to see that there is an opportunity for young people to be part of the conversation and to assist in accelerating and mobilizing young people from the country, from the continent and the diaspora as well.
My name is Dr. Amin Nuru, and I am the World Food Programme representative to the African Union, the director of the Global Office in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. So I was invited to be a speaker at this event, which has gone really very successfully. I would like to acknowledge and give thanks to the hosts, Sierra Leone, and also the African Peer Review Mechanism, and also the African Union for this opportunity. Africa is undergoing significant change now. And we need to really come together to focus on what we need for the future, for the summit of the future. Three key things come into play. One is looking at the issue of conflicts on the continent that we need to stop. The second issue is climate change. And the third issue is looking at the rising prices of food. Food insecurity is a huge issue on the continent. And we need to see how we can bring the youth into this equation as well. We have a long way to go. Africa has got everything that it needs in terms of land, water, labor force involved in agriculture. And yet we're importing so much from outside. If we don't have a food secure Africa, we will never have a prosperous Africa. This is what I brought to the table here. Hoping that we can look at this and try to see how we can overcome these challenges in the region.
So we were very excited to have this opportunity to engage with the APRM mechanism. As we all know that peer learning is going to be very important, particularly in terms of accelerating the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals and the Agenda 2063. And even as we look to the summit to the future, it's about really the game changers, what will really allow African countries to make a big difference in their actions to accelerate sustainable development. And it was very useful in our sessions to be able to hear from various countries and then look at the strategies that really can allow that acceleration. We heard really in particular about ownership, focused on domestic resource mobilization so that Africa can invest in its own future. And that's really the framing of what we want to see in terms of the partnership between the Office of the Special Advisor on Africa with the APRM and of course with the AU for implementation of Agenda 2063 and to get a good outcome from the summit in the future.